ladies and gentlemen, to all like no smoke, where we heal, we build, we uplift, where we gifted, and a place you can come to chill. We got one of our honorary brothers in the house. That's all you know about Dr. Sebi, as you'll see in the back. We got Professor Watkins gonna come in. Dr. Sebi's brother from another. And he wants to just share some things. And I told you guys I want to share some things with you guys because guess what? Health is our wealth. And I just want to tell you guys, sometimes you guys got Q&As, questions and answers that you might not get from your doctors, your physicians and all that. Sometimes this is grassroots right here. You're going to get it where you really get it. So, without me doing all that, let's get to it. We got Professor Wilkins is going to come in. I'm going to ask him some questions, guys. And he's going to let you know who he is, and then we can get to the Q&As.
Well, it's a pleasure. My name is Mel Watkins. Many people call me Professor, but that started with Dr. Sebi. And any questions that you have, I'll be glad to respond to it.
So, okay, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that Dr. Sebi and I originally met in 1965, and we knew each other all the way up to the time of his passing. And he was a great individual and accomplished one hell of good work while he was here. So we share many things, and of course, he taught me quite a bit through conversation, through my own experience. But we have the similar interests, and that is the health of the human body.
Now, you said something very important, the love of the human body. Now, when you meet Dr. Sebi, what made you also, just give us a little rundown, intro of where you kind of came from, you know, what really made you get into this, plus being with Dr. Sebi, was it something before that you was thinking about the health, and that was just, you know, the needle that meets the thread right there, that it got tight knitted right there. What made you, and who were you, are you from the West Coast, East Coast? Let the people know just a little bit about you.
Well, originally my family lived in Tuskegee, Alabama, because both of my parents worked on the air base where the Tuskegee Airmen trained. And after coming to California, I went to school and had a normal life out here. But the thing is, when after high school, after I went into the Air Force and came out, my brother introduced me to who was then Alfredo Bowman, and then he became Dr. Sebi. So he and I knew each other up until his passing, as I said before, and that it accomplished 52 years. Now, my interest in the human body and the wellness of the human body extends all the way back to my childhood, because my mother gave me a magazine early in life called Prevention, and that sparked a lot of my curiosity. So when Sebi and I met, he had just come back from Mexico, where a herbalist had put him on a 90-day fast, because when he came to California from New Orleans, he was weighing almost 300 pounds. He had asthma, he had diabetes, and he had ED. So at the end of the time when he came off of that 90-day fast, it was an herbal fast, water and herbs. All the weight was gone, the diabetes was gone, the asthma was gone, and the ED was gone. So it just lets you know that when we are afraid to not eat, sometimes the body is begging us, stop putting stuff down here so I can get rid of the problem. So we had a meeting of the minds, and when I say that the love for yourself is extremely important, when Sebi and my brother, when my brother introduced me to Sebi, they were in a discussion group, and just one night they were holding the discussion at my parents' house. And revolutionary as young brothers are, they were going on and on and on about certain things. And when they took a break, my mom came into the room and she said, you know, of all the things I hear you young men talking about, I don't hear love in the equation. And that's all she had to say. She turned around and left. But it took us all something like 15 or 20 years to figure out precisely what she was saying. We have to have love for ourselves. Then, as Sebi has stated many times, you can love yourself, you can love the world, and you can have respect for yourself and the world.
Okay, hold the mic right there. Yep, you go ahead. Now, I just want to ask you a couple of questions, right, since we're talking about health. What are some products you can talk about that you think are good for the body? Just off the top of your head, some products that most people would probably say like skin, maybe hair products, anything you want to go out, I don't want to put it in your mouth, but what are some products that you want to talk about that you think are good for the body?
Well, first and foremost is iron. All too often, people are led to believe that the tablets that are given out by the medical people is the correct iron. But when you understand and try to listen to the human body says that iron needs to come through plants in order for it to utilize it. Otherwise, it's simply the type of iron that you build a bridge with. And as soon as you take it, as many of you ladies can testify to, it binds your stomach and you become constipated. So that, and we have many products that address the different problems that we face within the body, whether it's the brain not getting nourishment, the thyroid not getting nourishment, the stomach being clogged up with sticky old material, the skin responds from what's on the inside. So when we eat healthy, the skin reflects that. And there's something that very few people understand is that there's a substance called cacao.
Explain what cacao is too.
It's the basic material that you make chocolate with before you put all the sugar and the nuts and all the different stuff in it.
So that's like the original name before we call it chocolate and cocoa. Huh?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, my brother, yes.
If you drink a couple of cups of that per day, then the body starts producing additional stem cells. Stem cells are the blank cells that operate in the body and correct and repair. So there's little things like that that we need to become aware of. We need to become aware of what table salt is, which basically is chlorinated sodium.
Well, right before you get into that, I wanted to ask you that question, right? I wanted to ask you, right, because I know you're about to bill, right? I wanted to ask you, what things are really seriously bad for the body? Like when we're talking about salt, white flour, sugar, white bread, and then I want to talk about things, what's good for the body, as we talked about from watermelon and things like that. But let's get into, because most people, not just in our community, around different communities, really have a diet for the salt, the flour, the sugar, and the white bread. Can you express that and the harm that it could do to the body?
Well, basically, it's the acid. If you get into it, you'll find that many of the diseases feed off of acid. Give you an example. Granulated sugar becomes extremely acidic as soon as it enters the body. And it's so naked. And when I say naked, say for instance, sugar is taken out of sugar cane. What's left? Molasses. The molasses is taken to the farm and fed to the animals to keep them healthy. But the sugar is naked. So that as soon as it goes in the body, it makes the body steal from itself. Because it's acidic and it's trying to create a balance. In nature, you always try to create a balance. So the acidic things that we eat, the man-made chemicals, the processed food, the refined things like donuts, and many of the different kinds of breads that we eat, they have no nutrition in it. So the body is constantly struggling to create a balance. And the same thing with dairy. Those of us that are with pigmented skin, melanated skin, we don't have a tolerance for dairy. And that includes not only the milk, but the cheese, the ice cream, the yogurt. It's not my attempt to mess with anybody's income as far as their products are concerned. I'm just saying what the body is tired of trying to tell us it does not want. It's been doing that so long that the body is tired of telling us. But at any rate, these things throw off so much animal mucus in the body. The human body produces its own mucus to deal with inflammation and different problems and stress within the body. But when you add the animal mucus, that confuses the issue.
So now, growing up in our neighborhoods, in our communities, we have been subject to a lot of artificial flavor, and now we're getting subject to artificial intelligence a lot, you know. But when we was growing up, we had the Kool-Aids and the candies and things like that. How significant and damaging that we grew up with all this sugar and all this Kool-Aid? I know they gave us the commercials and all that, and we thought even though Mama put a little bit of lemon in it, it would be something, but how was that significant, the sugar and the artificial flavors, so damaging to the body?
It sets us up for later in life to have to deal with illnesses, to have to deal with depletions in the body. One of the things that just came out not long ago was the fact that when we drink dairy, it causes the body to take calcium out of the bones to try and balance out the dairy, the acidity of the dairy, so that the body can get rid of it. And later in life, that causes brittle bones. If we don't have a diet that replaces the calcium and keeps the bones strong. There are many elderly people that have a fall and break the bone. But the question has become over the years, is the bone breaking that causes the fall, or do you fall and cause the break?
Right.
So again, it goes back to our accumulation of problems along the way.
Okay, now I'm gonna ease the conversation up a little bit. For me being a family man and a comedian, athlete, I get some of the guys that ask me this, Professor Watkins. They say sometimes when a brother gets to a certain age limit, he might have a little bit of functioning in his body, maybe sexually, maybe even having a high drive to get out there with the kids and walk. And I tried to explain to brothers how important watermelon is with seeds. Can you please probably give a little bit of information about that, how watermelon can be so good for the man's body, also for his sexual drive, also what it does to with the blood and the water intake, because a lot of people don't understand a lot of things, and maybe you could tie this with the alkaline parts of water than regular water. You could probably tie that.
Well, first and foremost, watermelon is extremely hydrating. Keeps the body hydrated. During the, it's a summer fruit. And we're not prone to eat a lot during the summer when it's in the middle of the heat. So hydration is very necessary. It's funny that we were made so much fun of early in this society for liking watermelon. But now every other group eats more watermelon than we do. But some of us make the mistake of going for the seedless watermelon. And my personal take on that is if the fruit is not strong enough to produce a seed, then something is wrong with it. So I always go for watermelons with seeds. Now, as far as our nature is concerned, our libido, when I was coming up, there was something I saw all the time, but I didn't understand until I became grown. And that was, in the South, women always prepared what they call pickled watermelon rinds. And then come along spring, and half the women are walking around pregnant. Whoa, wait a minute. Wait a minute. It comes to find out that the white of the watermelon is an aphrodisiac.
He said the white part of the watermelon that we call the rind is an aphrodisiac. Make sure you take notes on that. All right, I'm going to repeat it again. He said the white part of the watermelon that we call the rind is an aphrodisiac. Go ahead, my brother.
Good. So again, watermelon was used in many different ways by us. Even when the heat became really excessive. After eating the watermelon, we would take the rind and just rub it on our skins to give some relief. There's different ways you can even put the red, the white, and the seeds in a blender and drink it. So once again, it goes back to the habits that we had that kept us healthy through the very difficult times of our growth in this country.
Right. So I wanted to say, because that's important, right? Because you just said the seeds, and I don't want people to skip over that. Because when we was being raised, I mean, we ate pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, which is good. But when we had the watermelon, most of our families told us to spit the seeds out. When we ate it, we was kind of trained to spit them out, not to swallow them, not to even fry them and eat them or blend them. Can you just speak to the people how important it is that watermelon seeds are to us?
Extremely important. Matter of fact, why, just because we spit them out, that doesn't mean that we have to throw them away. That watermelon seed would grow another watermelon. Because if you look at all of the seedless fruits now, it seems like there's a dependence being created that we can't grow our own fruit anymore.
Exactly.
So just a cautionary note here. Save your seeds. Save your seeds.
Yes.
And because one day they will not be available to us anymore.
That's true. Now I want you to also express this to people. Some people feel that the only way they can get alkaline water is through the alkaline water sold in stores. I want you to two things about the plastic maybe, about containing your water in plastic maybe, and maybe can you give to the people out there, what are some fruits that they can get alkaline water from? Because some people don't understand that some fruits have alkaline in them.
Well, the problem I've always found was, what chemical are you making this water alkaline with? And what's the nature of that chemical when it goes in your body? So, Dr. Sebi always recommended consuming spring water. Now, as far as this water being sold in plastic containers, I'm not sure how long it's set in the warehouse. I'm not sure how long it's set on the truck. If the sun was directly on it, that increases the number of microplastics that are released into the water. I personally prefer water that comes in glass containers. But that's my choice. We have all of these different names about that water is named under now and sold under. But we have to be more and more careful about the content of that water, because it's becoming a very dicey situation. If nothing else, if you're economically put into a position where you have to buy the water in the plastic containers, at least try to get some type of filtering system that you can pour the water in and filter it, so that you can relieve, absorb some of the plastics in it. There are some people that want to say that they drink distilled water, but as I stated before, nature always tries to maintain a balance. Distilled water is produced by heating water and capturing the steam. Therefore, all the minerals and everything else that was in the water is left behind. Now, when you drink that, the distilled water is subtracting from the nutritional value in you. I always prefer spring water, period. Unless I'm preparing my herbs, then I use distilled water because I want to subtract the maximum nutrients out of the herbs that I'm preparing.
Okay. Man, you appreciate a lot of this information for God. Usually the story's supposed to be sold and not told. He's giving it to you for free today. So, and we appreciate Brother Professor Watkins, y'all. So, I just want to take a quick second to the camera. I came down here maybe a year and a half ago, and I got one of these Dr. Sebi products, right? And this is definitely good for your hands and all that, the cream. He also explained to me, Professor Watkins, you put it on your face, not in your eyes, guys, be very careful, but around your face and hands. And this is almost like a vapor. You know, my hands are getting a little old, but he's getting me back young again. But this is one of the great products. I also want to take a chance just to put in the camera some of the advertisements.
Is that upside down?
No, I got it up right. Yeah, some of the advertisements and things like that. Before we end the show, we will give you guys addresses and information. So I'm going to hold this for a second so you guys can kind of see it. I'm not going to go fast with it. I'm going to go through each one. There's different information for you for different things. But like I said, we will give you guys information. Professor Watkins will let you guys know so you guys could also come in, pull up, support the Dr. Sebi Foundation, man, because they're doing, I want to show you that again, because this has a little bit of stuff, so you can kind of check that out for a second. All right. That's on the hips right there and the hearts. I'm just going to hold this up for a second. Don't worry. Like I said, you guys can get in touch. And if you really want to know more, they probably can go to the website and send some of this information out to you guys, right? And we really appreciate Professor Watkins letting us come through his hard time today. And when they're healing people, just let us sit down and have a conversation. Now, Professor Watkins, if you probably want to tell the people out there, because we got people from the West Coast, East Coast, people down south, north. We even have some people in here from Philippines and also some people from Jamaica. Mm-hmm. Where, if they wanted to get some products, if they wanted to talk about something, where can they go to when they want to talk about the Dr. Sebi Foundation?
Well, yes, on the West Coast, Dr. Sebi opened this particular location at 2807 La Cienega Avenue, not Boulevard, La Cienega Avenue, right on the border between Los Angeles and Culver City. And the telephone number is right there on the card. You can call here and talk to someone.
Give them the telephone number if you got it too, right quick too. I think we got it right here on there. Got it right here. Yep. The telephone number is gonna be 310-838-2490. I'm gonna say it again to you. Area code 310-838-2490. You see, he got a lot of Kobe Bryant numbers in there too. He got a whole bunch of 8s and 24s. That's a good thing, yeah. Okay.
This office has been, Dr. Sebi started this store about 25 years ago. And there's only 2 locations that you can buy his authentic products. That is from this location or the internet. And the internet is Dr. Sebi's Cell Food. And he also has a nutritional guide on there. Now, there are a number of people out there selling products under his name, and they are gummies. I want to tell you right now that he did not believe in gummies. Because if you look at the ingredients in gummies, they were contradictory to his belief as far as nutrition was concerned. And the evil salve that Eddie showed you a minute ago, that is considered a skin nourisher that nourishes the skin. And the reason, now I use it on my face all the time, but I never get it in my eyes. And the reason for that is that one of the ingredients is African bird pepper, which is extremely hot. 10 times or more hotter than cayenne pepper. So, but it does wonders for the skin, and used long enough it will even get rid of psoriasis and many skin problems.
Now, I know we about to, because we on a timetable, he's a busy man. We got about like 10 more minutes in the interview. June, do you have any questions and answers? Because I know one question and answer I'm going to start off that I have a couple of that people wanted me to ask him. And one guy came on when I took the picture. So, with him. So one question is, how do people, or what should people get from Dr. Sebi to control high blood pressure?
Well, there is a tea that we have. It's called Flor de Manetta. And
Flor
de Manetta.
Flor de Manetta. Flor de Manetta. This is a tea he's saying for the high blood pressure. Go ahead, my brother. Thank you so much.
And there's a couple of other products like the green food and Lymphola that also help with the blood pressure. But it's the important thing as far as blood pressure is concerned is to watch your diet. Stay away from the processed foods, because many of the chemicals that are included in that create problems with the blood pressure.
Okay. Second question. People want to know, what do you probably have for skin when people are dealing with some bad skin, or what should they do as far as eating, or if there's any products to probably make the skin a little better?
Well, the basic thing is clean up your diet, because the quality of the skin comes from within. And you can put all of the cosmetics on it, you can put all the stuff that's sold in the stores if you want to. All it's going to do is suffocate the skin. The skin needs to breathe.
Okay, now the last one. I know you're a comedian, and some of your sisters said, "Hey, you better not say my name." And I said, "I got all my sisters that got a little bit of chunky but funky. I got y'all. Y'all want to know what are some things can lose that weight?" He's gonna tell you probably again. I ain't gonna answer for him. I already told you about some eating habits. But if y'all looking for products, maybe he can help you out with some of them products right now. Some of the sisters want to know what can they do. For some says they're not eating this heavy, but they still have a hard time of losing weight. Is it the water they saying, or maybe do they need exercise? What is even a product can help them, can cheat a little bit, they said, help them to lose some weight? Do you have any suggestions?
Well, my suggestion as far as weight is concerned is there are things that, there's a lot of things in the society that we consume that the body does not need or want. And a long time ago, it got tired of telling you. Your stomach started growling at you. And so when the body has no use for it, and you are eating too much, too often, it has to just put it someplace in order to get it out of the way. And that's weight gain. Drink more water. See, one of the peculiar things about the brain is that the hunger center and the thirst center are very, very close to each other. Many times we think we're hungry, we're actually thirsty. Drink some water. Give your digestive tract a break. We are not expending the energy that we need all to eat 3 meals a day, or even 2 meals a day. We just cut back on the amount of food that you are eating. You'll find that your energy rises. And also, look up some material about fasting. Because after you stop eating for a while, the body will start reaching for that stuff that it does not need and clearing it out of the body. So fasting is a very, very important aspect of taking care of your health.
Okay. You got any questions and answers?
Yes.
Go ahead, brother.
Hello, people. Now,
Speak up a little bit.
Professor,
Look into the camera.
I
Yeah.
see that there's a lot of dialysis places popping up all over. You know, I just took a trip, from the East Coast to the West Coast, and I've seen a lot of dialysis places, and it's making me feel some type of way because, like, from time to time I have acute kidney failure, because of all the medications that the doctors gave me for my health insurance. I have acute kidney failure, and it's scary, and I'm not at the point where I have to go on dialysis yet, but I don't want to get to that point. So I'm looking for something that will, stop that process of me having to have dialysis and, my kidneys get worse at this point in time. Do you have anything for me?
There is a natural plant that is very useful where the kidneys are concerned. As a matter of fact, the whole urinary tract is concerned, and that is called nettle. 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 Both the roots and the leaves are very helpful because it starts flushing out a lot of the stuff, built up material that's in the kidneys as well as the urinary tract. So I don't know anything about the medicine, what they call the medicine aspect of it. I don't know any of the names that they use for that, or the whole process of dialysis. I'm just saying that there are other issues at play that maybe the doctor that you're seeing can answer for you. And that is, can he give you a test to find out if there's any parasite infection in that area? Because we've been caught up in a particular way of doing things, and there's an old saying that goes back to, if you're trying to keep solving the same problem, doing the same thing, then you have to sometimes think outside the box. I'm not saying that this is correct or otherwise, but the doctors that are treating these illnesses have a better insight than I do.
My aspect is like, I mean, I've tried medications that only cause other health issues,
Yeah.
as far as me getting my kidneys healthy.
Yeah.
And now I'm trying to look for something all natural.
Mhm.
And because the doctors, they're not always right. It's like I feel like sometimes when I go to my doctors that they're guinea pigs. They're practicing on me. They're seeing if this medication will work and seeing how it will work. But meanwhile, I'm at the point where I'm sick.
Yeah.
And you practicing on me, and that doesn't work for me. We not gonna do no practicing no more. I'm too far. I'm too old for that, and it's too late in the game for me to have somebody come in and start practicing on me.
Right now, there's a lot of research that is being done to try and solve some of these problems, because there's a hell of a lot of people that are not getting the results that they need. So my only suggestion is to start doing some research for yourself. There's a lot of information. The one good thing I find with the artificial intelligence is that it pulls information from a lot of different sources. And it depends on the question that you ask. The thing is, when we go to the doctor's office, we need to have our questions written out in advance, because the doctors stay so busy. He comes in, a couple of minutes, bam, 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 and he's gone. So we have to ask the question, and the question that you ask depends on the answer you get. As well as we have to start doing our own research to find the answers. So I wish I could give you more and better information as far as dialysis is concerned, but I'm not familiar.
The information that you just gave me was great. It enlightened me to a lot of different other things that I need to do research on, and it's a beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much.
My
Appreciate
pleasure.
that. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. Yeah.
Right, so ladies and gentlemen, man, we got 7 minutes over with our dear brother that we love, Professor Watkins. Before we get out, we just going to tell him we love him. He spent a lot of time giving some knowledge. But listen, folks, get in touch with me. Get in touch with him. If you need any other information, we will get you to the right people down here. He has people that can advise you. He has receptionists, people to talk to you, give you warm things. If you need more information, they have a couple of people who can come in there and talk to you and counsel you, just like him and others that work here. So give it a chance. You know, he's always going to tell you, do your research, find out what's bothering you first, and then try to ask him what are some things that can help you with that. Nobody's somebody's going to cure anything for you, but he can help you and maybe give you a different way where you don't get these type of diseases and things like that.